I'm Sophie,
And I am Cass.
and this is
Podclass.
with Sophie
And Cass.
and wine. Of course, Cass is drinking red, and I'm drinking wine because some things never change.
Never. That's like given. I do like
Literally,
white. Don't get me wrong. I do like
you would
white.
not like this one. I'm letting you
Is
know
it
right now.
sweet?
I bought this wine the other day, right? I like sweet wine, but I've noticed, I guess I don't like it that sweet anymore. I used to. I like a little bit dry. Yo, this shit, it tastes like freaking grape juice. It's not only sweet, it tastes very strongly like grapes. You know what it's called? La malcriada.
Clearly, no, that makes sense because the grapes weren't actually grown correctly. That's why it tastes
Exactly.
like that.
So it's
It tastes
tan
like shit.
malcriada. So, anyways, I'm gonna drink it because I have to, you know?
That's a cute name, though. That's a really cute name.
So today we chose a topic. Well, this topic was recommended to Cass
Yes, by
by
Trouty. He said, "Oh, I better get a shout out." So here's the shout out. Trouty
shout out to
Lacunza.
you.
Shout out Kunza. Shout out Trouty. Anyways, yes, he was like, "Y'all should talk about detachment," and I was like, "Oh my god, yeah, like that's a really good topic." Um, because I think in one way or another, we have all have learned well not have learned we have all had maybe had to or did detach from someone in our lives, whether it's family, friends, boyfriends, girlfriends, cousins, everything.
Mm-hmm.
So we're just going to talk a little bit about emotional detachment specifically. And yeah, so
Yeah.
Sophie, you have a little bit, to tell us.
Yeah. A little bit. So more towards we're gonna barely mention any research on this episode, but what I did find was emotional detachment refers to being disconnected or disengaged from the feelings of other people, like Cass said. So this can involve an inability or unwillingness to get involved in the emotional lives of other people. And while this may protect people from stress, hurt, and anxiety, it can also interfere with a person's psychological, social, and emotional well-being. So when Cass told me about this topic, for me, when we talk about detachment, I don't only think detachment towards people. I think detachment towards places, things, um, everything. Like, you know how sometimes we do have an attachment to, let's say, a necklace that your mom got you when you were younger, or a home that you lived in for a really long time, and then you have to sell it, and it's hard to detach from that. Because a lot of the times, like you said, we refer to detachment more towards relationships with others, but in reality we build relationships with everything in our lives. And detachment can be caused either by trauma, so you had childhood trauma, or simply experiences. A lot of people use it as coping mechanisms to deal with changes and to let go of a fixed idea of how things need to be. Now, I'm going to talk about myself because I have detachment issues. I wouldn't even say, yeah, no, they're issues. I was gonna say, are they issues? No, they're issues. You know, I do have some issues here and there. So for me, my life, right? I'm gonna give a little background on my life for those of you who don't know me. I have moved a lot throughout my life. And I'm not talking like, oh, she moved to another street. No, I'm talking countries and continents. So when I was little, I was born in Spain. We moved to the US, and I grew up in Miami. But growing up in Miami, every summer we'd come to Spain and I'd always see my family. Obviously, as a young child, I didn't really understand, like, I just got on a plane and then I got off and then I saw my family. I didn't really understand, anything behind that. I remember every single time that we'd leave Spain, my mom crying in the car and me crying because we had to say goodbye to my grandmother, my aunts, my cousins. And I knew that I wasn't going to be able to see them for a certain amount of time. I didn't realize, obviously, at that point in time that that was going to affect me as much as it has when I've grown older. Because now, with having to say goodbye so often, like to everybody, you know, to my friends, my family, even I've noticed it affect me in dating relationships, because the way that I perceive relationships, and I'm really trying to work on that, is like you're here today, but you might not be here tomorrow. And I'm also going to be okay if you're not. And I don't care. And it's like, it's not that I don't care. Of course I care. But I guess, like I mentioned before, because it's something, I guess I realized at a young age that you can't control people leaving or things changing. So I just kind of, I guess, anticipate the change before it affects me. And what that causes is I have trouble in creating like deep relationships with people, because I'm like, what's the point if I know that you're going to leave? Even like in the places I live, like I know I'm living here, but I'm moving in a couple months. So it's just like, I don't even care. And then wherever I'm moving, I know I'm going to be moving somewhere else after. So I'm going to be the same thing. I'm like, I don't even care. So it's like, I haven't been able to build a foundation somewhere, because I don't attach.
Now, I think that like, although I haven't lived a similar life, like I understand what you mean by feeling like, okay, what's the point, you know, if I'm not going to be here in, you know, X amount of time. But I feel like sometimes we also have to realize that even though people's lives look different, we're all just experiencing, you know, our lives the way they're supposed to play out. So maybe you just have a really intense or nice friendship with someone for a short amount of time and then you move on. But that's okay, right? Like, I think that that's kind of what it's supposed to be. Like, maybe some things aren't meant for forever, and that's, I don't know. That's just what came to mind, because I'm thinking, I'm like,
There's
okay, like,
beauty,
how would I
yeah,
rationalize that? Yeah. Like,
there's
what would make
beauty
me
in,
feel okay?
for me, like what I've, I guess, learned from so much change is really living in the moment. Like, for instance, like when I came to Jersey to see you, or like when I'm in Miami seeing my friends, I know that I'm leaving. So because I know that I'm leaving, I'm very present and like really enjoying my time with you, because I know it's going to come to an end. And I think that when you live your life knowing that everything comes to an end, because not only if you move, like we're all going to die one day. So literally everything comes to an end. But I guess in having that reminder constantly, you're more present in your everyday life. Even like when my parents come to Spain to visit, it's like, I know they're leaving. So I'm like, okay, the time that they're here, because I know it's limited, let me really enjoy it with them. So there is beauty in in when things are transitory. I guess it's more the lack of stability sometimes that comes with it. Sometimes it's like I said before, detachment is a way of coping with anxiety, right? Because anxiety is when we're constantly thinking about something that we have no control over. And we create these scenarios in our head of how things can pan out, and we stress over it. So with detachment, it's kind of like, well, it is what it is. Like whatever has to be will be, whether it's in my relationship or in my career, because it really is like life does work like that. You can really want something that if it's not for you, it's not for you.
Yeah. And
You know?
that's, I actually haven't, when the topic first came to mind, I was like, okay, I thought about emotional detachment in terms of relationships and stuff. And then you bringing up the point of like, everything, you know, like we do have relationships to all things in our lives. And then, I thought about that, about like, okay, like sometimes you have an idea of a career and how it's supposed to work out and what you're supposed to do and get into. And so I'm like, okay, how can I not to say like not to have an expectation, but still care about those things enough that I'm putting because that's my thing. It's like, okay, if I'm not attached, how do I show the same amount of effort? Am I still showing the same amount of effort? Like,
that's one of the things that in the research that I read, they mentioned that it's how it affects negatively our relationships. Because if you're in a relationship, but you're not all in emotionally because you're thinking, well, this is going to come to an end, right? What that causes is that you are just not as involved. And what sucks is not it's hard for the person, but it's also for the person you're dating, because dating someone that is emotionally unavailable, do not recommend. I do not recommend, because you are going to go out of your way to find explanations for behaviors and things that are just not, there's no explanation to be found. It's just the person is not there, because in their mind, they're thinking, I know this isn't going to work out. So what's even the point of me trying? And if you feel that way, if you genuinely feel like, for instance, for me, I have been in situations with guys that I did feel like that at a certain point of like, I know this isn't going anywhere. So like, whatever, you know. But when I guess I've learned now, or I'm trying to, that it's like, okay, I don't know where it's going, but if I don't take care of it, it's definitely not going anywhere.
Yeah. You're just like not even giving it the chance, you know?
Yep.
And then I was like reading back, and it's like, okay, why do we detach? I was reading something. And it's just to avoid suffering. You're just trying to prevent yourself from being hurt.
Yeah.
But it's like, that is also a part of life. But you know, I'm like, I'm not saying that I'm like, all right, I'm fearless in my emotions. I'm not. But like, I thought about it this way, right? Like, isn't it's so beautiful to fall in love? Like, you feel like some of the craziest emotions like you may ever feel in your life. It's worth the risk of getting hurt. Like, if you think about it in that way, you know, of course, something so big is going to have so much risk. Like, that's just how things work. So I think same thing with your emotions. It's like, yes, like there is risk, but there's also like beauty on the other side of it. So I think in terms of detachment, you have to really be like smart. I feel like, I guess, just like real and like smart about it.
Like self-conscious, like self-aware. That's the word.
Yeah,
Self-aware.
self-aware. Okay. Yeah. Why you're doing it, how you're going about it, all that stuff. Is it a pattern for you?
I mean, for me, I know as a fact that my fear is just being vulnerable, like truly vulnerable, because I this is gonna be very fucked up, but I have acquired behaviors or thought processes that are a little manipulative. And like I know how to pretend to be vulnerable. And like maybe that's another coping mechanism that I've acquired. Like, I know how to pretend that I'm being vulnerable with you so that you feel comfortable with me. But in reality, in the back of my head, I'm thinking, if I see something, I'm going to ghost you tomorrow. And like, I don't care. And I've noticed, like, as you know what it is too. And unfortunately, like, I feel like for me, it's gotten worse as I've gotten disappointed more and more throughout the years of my life. Because for me, I'm going to give a little story time. I know you guys like my stories because I got a whole lot of them. So
you gotta take a sip for this story. We gotta take a sip for the story.
Cheers to the fucking bitches I'm about to talk about.
Ching, ching, ching.
So I was in, so what happened was I was in seventh grade. No, I was in eighth grade.
I'm already excited with how this
so okay, so I like I said, I grew up in Miami, right? But I move a lot, right? Remember? So I moved back to Spain. Remember how I mentioned that before? So I moved back to Spain for middle school. I did middle school in Spain, and then I moved back to Miami for high school, right? So when I did middle school here in eighth, first of all, they used to make fun of me because I spoke English and I was from Miami. when I did middle school here, which is so fucked up because now everybody wants to go to Miami. Anyways, so
I think that's so funny. That's so funny. Like it's like,
yeah,
you know, a second language.
like yeah, they used to
Like
make fun of me for
crazy
that.
because at that age you're just like,
Yeah, and I was
fuck.
like, oh my god, I wish I did
Why do
it.
I know
Like,
this? You're like, fuck, why am I so smart?
like,
Why am I
so
from
then,
Miami?
where am I from? Miami. Like, fuck.
Oh man. Okay, I'm sorry. I
Girl, so
interrupted. It's so
then
funny.
whatever, so eighth grade, right? Eighth grade comes around and I had the biggest crush on this guy that if I saw him now, no offense, I would not touch him with a stick, bro. But I had the biggest crush on him back then, and we ended up getting in a relationship. So I was so in love with this guy, bro. Like I was so in love with him.
That should
He was
fucking
like, he was like, and he was such a good
El Papi
boyfriend. He
Chulo of
really
the class.
was. No, he was not un papi chulo at all. Like, I don't know why I liked him, like to be honest, but I really liked him.
He
And
was
we
a
ended
cool
up
dude.
dating, right? He was pretty cool. He was funny, like, you know, he was very like
Yeah.
a really good boyfriend for like eighth grade. You know what I mean? He would like very attentive. I'm telling, yeah, like better. Listen, he was better than like older guys that I've been with. So anyways,
Wow.
so I dated him. I was so in love, yada yada, whatever. Here comes the trauma. My father calls me one day. He's like, hey, mind you, this was in June. We're moving to Miami in August. And I was like, oh, okay. I hang up the phone. I call him and I'm like, yo, I'm moving to Miami. Like, deuces.
I had to go
Mind you,
back.
back in the day, like back then, there was no WhatsApp, like this international situation that we got going on. That's this, I'm talking 2010, 12 years ago. Oh my God.
MySpace?
We didn't have MySpace in Spain. We had this platform called Twenty, and like that shit
20?
disappeared. It was like, it's like Facebook kind of, actually more like
Oh,
Instagram, to be
20.
honest. Yeah, so we
I'm
had
about to
20
look it
here.
up, make a profile.
Yeah, but mind you, this guy, he didn't have Wi-Fi in his house. So it wasn't even that we could like upkeep communication. So when I left, he was crying and everything, right? Listen to this. I had this group of friends here and they started hanging out with his guy friends because of me, because I was dating this guy. I moved to Miami and I was only in constant communication with one of my friends. We would talk over the phone every single day. So she'd keep me updated on what was going on. No, it wasn't. Rosa had a boyfriend at the time, but it was another girl. Her name was Carmen. Like, I still love her to this day. We're just not that close anymore, but she was the only one that would call me every single day. We'd talk over the phone. And one day she tells me, oh, no, he's hooking up with someone from the group, a girl that was supposed to be my friend. And I was like, what? And I was like, I would message him and like he wouldn't answer me. Like, okay, fast forward. I come to Spain for Christmas and nobody talked to me. They all stopped talking to me. Like, I'm talking, I moved to Miami late August and I came in December. They all stopped talking to me. Like, no explanation given, dirty looks, like bad. Mind you, at that age, like I was in ninth grade at that point. I was like so distraught, whatever.
Oh my God.
I go back to Miami and I guess I started like actually building my life over there because I was like, yo, these people are fake as fuck. Like, what the fuck is going on here? So anyways, I come back in the summertime.
You were like, I'm coming back and I'm destroying all your lives because y'all want to ignore me.
You know what's funny? Samantha says
back to
that.
Miami.
Yo, why you gotta say Miami? Miami like that, yo. That reminds me of a man I got one time that someone was like, "Oh, where are you from?" And I was like, "Miami." She's like, "Miami." I could tell, and I was like, "What the fuck?" So, anyway.
Oh my God.
So then, look at what happened. Look at the explanation. Look at how fucked up this is and why I don't trust people and everybody can kiss my ass. I come back the next summer, bro, and I see him in a club and we start talking. You know what he told me? He's like, I stopped talking to you. And the only reason why I hooked up with her was because all the girls were telling me that you had like a whole different boyfriend in Miami. I was like, that is such a lie. Like, I can't believe this right now. They lied to him
Wow.
to manipulate him into thinking that I was like, doing whatever, and he'd stop talking to me. So
I've never
right then and there, at that early age, I realized you see people's loyalty, when you leave.
Oh my god.
Isn't that sad? Like, I was so young.
I know. Like it's just like kids are mean. They're mean. Like that's mean. First of all, what is it with starting rumors? Why do people start rumors?
First of all, I didn't even live here at that point. Like, I'm on the other side of the world, but they did that so that girl could get with him because she liked him the whole time that I was with him. Fake ass bitch, bro. I'm never gonna forget that. I'm never gonna fucking forget that shit.
No. What I'm saying is she's sitting here claiming that you got a whole boyfriend in Miami when they don't even speak to you. Wait, did the Carmen? No, you said Carmen was cool. Carmen was cool, right?
No, she was cool. The thing is with Carmen, and I feel so bad because she was stuck in a situation where, like, if she said something, she would be by herself. Like, she didn't have any other friends. Yeah. So she was stuck in a situation where it's like, I'm
shitty friends. Like,
listen, let me tell you, she doesn't speak to them anymore. Like, she doesn't speak to them.
Come on, bro. Like, if I knew that you're the kind of person that would do something to someone else, I'm not gonna be like, I'll be like, y'all fucking weird, bro. And I'm just gonna go my own way. Like, I hate schemes.
That's
and
why
all that
now,
shit.
Why do you have time for that? So like good with being alone. Like, if you're gonna be a shady ass friend, or if you're a shady person, or if I see that your intentions are fucking whack, I'm not gonna be your friend no more. And I don't give a fuck. Because again, detachment. So I think my detachment comes rooted from my childhood, and then since that happened, because I was so hurt. I was like, what the fuck? Like, those girls, first of all, now I see them and I'm like, ew. But those girls, they used to come to my house, bro, in the summertime, to my pool every single day. They'd use my pool. They'd use all my shit, bro. And my mom was like, be careful, they're not using you. And I'm like, mommy, no. They were, because nobody has a pool except for me. In that fucking group.
But it's just, you also learn to just choose your friends a little wisely. You understand people's intentions, because I don't know, so if, like, I feel like when I first met you, you were very, very, very open, very welcoming. You were like, bro, take whatever you need. So it's like, God.
I was like, stay at my place. Like, literally first night that we met.
I know. And you knew I was leaving, you know what I mean? You know, like, it wasn't like forever, but I mean, granted, like, then we made it longer, but I'm just saying it was cool. Like, so I think that, like, it also depends on the person. And unfortunately, how this fucking world works, there's not many good people. So the ones that you do find, those are the ones that you
hold on tight.
You hold on to. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like with, like, as you grow older though, you see through people and, like, through their intentions quicker. Obviously, when you're young, you're so vulnerable and so innocent that you don't really like that's why, like, and I mentioned this in the first episode that we did when I came back from Miami, that, like, I'm so grateful for the friends that I do have, because I know that the friendships I have, like, they're friends. And I'm the type of person that when people say little comments or remarks concerning whatever, I listen and I stay quiet. But I've learned to not react to everything, but I write everything down. So there's been people in my life that I'm like, all right, you're going out, friend, because I see how you move and I see the things that you say, not only in regards to me, but in regards to others. Because I always say this, like, it's not only towards me. Like, if I see you that you're, like, super friends with someone, but then when you come to me, you're talking mad shit about that person.
Bro, that's one thing I gotta tell you. When people do that, bro, and especially when, like, I'll just, like, I'll be like, oh, okay, or like,
tú te quedas callada, but you fucking think, hold on.
Yeah, or like they want you to engage, so you'll just be like, oh, I don't know, really.
That's it. And you stay quiet.
I don't entertain
and then
it.
You stay quiet.
Because you know what? That shit comes right the fuck
right back, bitch. Right back. Listen, people, listen, don't get me wrong. I love un chisme. Like, this is a fact. Everybody that knows me knows this. But one thing is for me to like talk about something innocently, and one thing is for me to bash someone or judge someone based off of because they did something. Like, first of all, that's not my fucking business. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who am I to judge anybody? Like, the
Yeah.
fuck? And you know what it is here in this town? So I'm in a really small town right now, for those of you who don't understand what's going on. So in these types of towns, people know everything about everybody. I've made it a mission to stay irrelevant. Like, nobody knows where I'm at. Nobody knows nothing about me, what I'm doing for a living, why am I here if I'm not here. It's nobody's business, because people love to talk. And people in these towns love to start rumors. Like, I'm talking like, are we in middle school? Like, if you're a guy and you're making up a story that you slept with someone, hot as hell, bro. I mean, hot as hell. Hell is hot. Hell is hot.
Bro.
Like,
that is so desperate. Let me just speak into this mic. That is so desperate for you to claim that you slept with someone when you didn't.
When you didn't.
When you didn't.
And as a woman, that just makes me want to start a rumor that your fucking dick stinks and you have a small penis.
You have a micro penis. You want to claim you slept with me? You have a micro penis. That's what it is. I just
he pulled out his pants and I had to put my mask on.
El COVID. Oh my god.
So yeah, going back to the topic, this is why I have attachment issues, because it's like all these people are fucking fake. So I'm like, what is the point? And then the same thing with these places, because it's like, oh my god, you want to know the biggest trauma for me in my life was also like when I was living in Miami. I was so in love with this guy, and I'm not going to talk about him, but everybody knows who I'm talking about. And I was so in love with him, and knowing in the back of my head, knowing that I had to leave one day when I was in high school, I remember that shit gave me the worst anxiety. Like, when we stopped talking the first time, for me, what like the worst thing for me was thinking I'm never going to see him again. And I think that for me was also a realization, because I have seen him even living in Spain. I've seen him. It was a realization of like those fears of holding on so tight to something that's not for you, because you're so afraid. Like, you need to let go of that shit, yo. There's so many better things that are coming your way. And like, for example, when I left Miami, which was in 2016, that is insane. It's going to be 6 years in June since I left Miami. And I go every year, so it doesn't feel like such a long time, but like, I remember when I moved, I was so afraid that I was going to like lose sense of myself or who I was in the city, whatever. I haven't. If anything, I found myself even more being away from where I grew up. And I'm grateful that I did leave when I left, because I've become such a strong woman ever since that, because I was forced out of my comfort zone in reality, you know, because even if I was born here, this wasn't my comfort zone. Like, I don't really have that many friends here, you know, like, you know, because you were living here. I don't have that many, even you know how lifestyle here is so different. Like, people's mentalities are so different. It's hard.
We get excited over American shit. We go to Carrefour and be like, oh my god,
they have Reese's. Like, the stupidest fucking shit you get excited over, you know. And it's funny because like I'll show my friends here like pictures of friends over that I have over there or whatever, and like the first comment is always like, oh my god, so American. And that's something that wouldn't even cross my mind, because to me it's so normal. Like, what do you mean?
What does that mean? Can you explain that?
So for instance, I'm going to expose my baby really quick, because this was like the last incident that I had. So my man's, for his birthday, he wore like a really cute fit, in my opinion. But it wasn't like your typical.
I was like, you're gonna show us?
No, I'm not gonna expose him. Like, here, this is
look, this is what he wore on his birthday.
So he wore on his birthday like a really cute outfit. He likes fashion a lot, whatever. But obviously his style is not like your typical Spanish style, with which in my opinion, I hate it. I hate the typical Spanish style that guys, I feel like guys here, they all look like they're like 35-year-old fathers at like 20.
They were no, they were okay. There's two
You see what I'm
styles.
saying? You see what I'm saying? Okay.
There's like
yeah,
the button-down shirt, straight jeans, and I don't even know what kind of shoes they wear. And then
New Balance.
there's the fucking the Aeropostale shirt that I don't even know where they got it from, and skinny jeans and
fucking
Adidas.
Hollister. If I see you wearing Hollister or Abercrombie, I'm automatically blocking you in real life. Like, I don't care. Don't talk to me. Do not talk to me if you're wearing Hollister or Abercrombie. That's whack, and that's fucking
like
middle
the
school and high school
lettered
shit.
stuff. Yeah. But listen,
it's because
okay,
here
so
it's like a
styles.
cool brand. So anyways, I don't like how like some, don't get me wrong, some Spanish dudes do like have a little vibe going on, but for the most part, if we have to say Spanish style, it's what Cass explained, right? So I have a friend here and her man is like the button up style. And ironically enough, he's not very attractive. He doesn't look like he takes care of himself. And I'm not here like to talk shit, but like, so you guys have an idea. So when I showed her the picture, she literally said, "Oh my God, he's so American. Like the outfit's so American." And I looked at her, I'm like, what the fuck does that even mean? Like, you know, and like, I don't know. But again, it's a reminder of like, oh, you're not from here, because that's not what I thought when I saw him.
Yeah.
You know, it's in the little things that I'm like, I do feel out of place.
It's very different. That also going back to the topic with detachment, I know we didn't really talk about like the research and stuff that much, but something that like I do want to differentiate, it's like detachment doesn't mean like avoidance. Like to detach from something isn't to be mad about it, or it really is to feel no ways about something.
Drake.
Yeah, right. But I also think that with that, like I said before, it comes like being responsible for like how you're going about it, not just like blocking a person and not explaining yourself, or you know, like I think communication is most important when you're detaching from a situation, a person, or for yourself. Like really, if you have to detach from an expectation of something, I think that the best thing you can do is give yourself grace, but like also realize that it is a process.
Yeah, ghosting, in my opinion, is not acceptable by any means. Like if you don't like someone, or if you're tired of someone, be mature. Let them know, like, hey, you know, I think you're a great person, but I don't think we're a match, whatever. And then you can decide to stop replying. But don't leave people questioning, what did I do wrong? Or I don't know, you know what I mean? Like getting ghosted sucks. And it really does make you question, like, what the fuck happened here? Like, I didn't do anything, you know? And a lot of the times it's because people just want to avoid confrontation because they don't have the balls to fucking say it as it is.
They were like nervous.
Yeah, like I don't even know, bro. That's another thing. I feel like, have you ever been ghosted, Cass?
I feel like I have.
You have?
I think I
Do you think that that's affected your attachment style?
No, it wasn't that serious.
Oh, it wasn't that serious. Okay.
Yeah.
I got ghosted, I think only one time. I'm pretty sure only one time. Yeah. And it was the weirdest thing because it was with this guy that like I knew it wasn't going anywhere, but he kept, I guess, talking to me and calling me, and it's like your gut feeling, like, you know, deep down, like, this isn't going anywhere, but I don't know why because he didn't even live here. And then from one day to the next, after you sent me like a 5-minute voice message, like, you just stop replying. And for me, I remember I was so confused because I was like, why would you do that? Like, why would you send me a 5-minute voice message and then like not reply?
I was just gonna say, you know what I like about those? The ones that do shit like that, and then like 3 months later,
they fucking go and watch your stories.
Few pictures, like hard eyes. suck a dick. Suck a fucking dick. Why are you gonna come around like if you did not just leave me on fucking red?
They
Come
do that to
on.
see
Come
it's
on.
very
To see
easy. They
how
just,
you're
if
gonna
you're
fucking
available,
react.
if you're
Yeah,
available,
exactly. And if you're
if
just
you're
like,
available,
thanks, then they're like, oh, okay, she's good.
she's
No,
good. No reply, bitch.
no.
I will block you.
Bitch. Yes.
Now I do realize that it's created kind of like an anxious attachment style in a way, which is contradicting to the like the detachment. But I do have, like, if I care about you, if I really like you, I need the reassurance, because I guess because I'm like, you're gonna leave. Like, I need you to reassure me that you're not gonna leave.
Mhm.
And I see that in my relationship now, and God bless his soul, because he does so good in like making sure that I feel loved. I guess he's realized, I mean, we've talked about it, and he's realized that I'm like, I need more reassurance sometimes, you know. But yeah, so I think we like talked about a lot of shit today. It's a tomando y hablando, y'all, so
Eso tomando y hablando.
you get what you get.
Talk
El
shit.
tomando y el hablando, you know what I mean?
Okay, we're smart, so we can't be drinking and trying to teach you shit.
Exactly. So anyways,
We're out.
we're out.